Good afternoon. How are you?
What's up? How you doing?
Good. Let's start by what's your name?
My name's Robert Keepsy.
Robert. Nice to meet you. What do you do for a living?
Um, I own a recovery housing program for people that were addicted to drugs and alcohol that go to treatment, and when they get out of treatment for like 30 or 90 days, they come to my program and they have a firm foundation to live on.
When you say treatment, what does that entail?
While they go away to treatment, they detox. Sometimes they get put on MAT. MAT is like either Suboxone or Sublocade, Vivitrol, stuff like that, psych meds. Sometimes people are bipolar, and they stay there for like 30 days. They do counseling, therapy, groups, stuff like that.
Okay. Um.
That's what the rehab does. I don't do all that, but
Okay. What's the name of the program that you own?
evolution to recovery.
Okay. Um. Are you guys on social media? Do you have a website?
We do have a website and we're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Okay. And what purpose does that social media platform give you guys?
We have clips of me interviewing people and we put quotes up, stuff like that. All kinds of stuff. Sometimes I'm on Facebook Live, just talking about stuff, issues, things that people go through, talking shit sometimes, messing around. I ruffle feathers every once in a while, but the show is I have guests on there that actually like have time sober, that got their lives together from doing what the program that I have and not has, like a 12-step program, would offer people to get better. You know what I mean? And they get their kids back in their life, have jobs. I mean, I had a military vet, that did 2 tours in Afghanistan, a kid that played college football, a lieutenant from the fire department, like, and so on and so forth, whatever.
And if someone wanted to look you up on your website or social media, what would they type in?
Evolution, number two, the number two, recovery.
Evolution to recovery,
Yeah, dot
with two
com,
being
or
the
yeah,
number.
dot com.
Cool. Um, so you own this recovery housing program. How long have you owned that for?
Uh, I've been doing it for 8 years.
Okay. And you're based out of,
South Philly, Delaware County, and West Philly.
okay. Where did you start?
South Philadelphia.
When did you branch out?
Uh, what out of South Philly? When did I branch out of South Philly? Like about 2 years ago, maybe.
Okay. And do you truly feel that your program is good, and
Yes,
why?
yes. Why? Why I think my program's good is because all the dedication and help that I have from the people. Like I did an interview 2 years ago, and like I said then, and I say it now, and it still stands. All credit goes to the people in the program that are doing actually the right thing and leading by example and actually following the rules. All the management that I have that are helping me, people that volunteer for me, because it helps them in their sobriety and they're like giving back and they respect the program. But without them people, I would be nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would be nothing. So all credit goes to everybody that helps me.
There's recovery housing programs are a dime a dozen, especially in the city of Philadelphia. So, what makes your program stand out from other programs?
Well, I mean, if I had other people here with me, to speak on that would be better probably because then you would hear it from the horse's mouth. But everybody knows. I mean, I run nonstop. I am the owner of the program. We have, we have a very large program, and I'm always around, and I always communicate with the people in the program, and I have a meeting every Friday with all my men. Also, the person that her name's Rachel Murray. She runs the female side, and she has a house meeting with all the women in the program. Which we tell people to get sponsors and go through the steps, and if they should go through therapy. A lot of people come into the program with county insurance, so they should, like the resources are out there for them to get them. I try to encourage them to do them. Plus, I teach them about goals and how to go about things, and I talk about getting their lives together because people need to realize, like I said, all credit goes to the people that help me. Also, the credit goes to the person that helps themselves. Like there's a lot of people out there, man. They come in and they're beat up. They're beat up, but they have to know that they have to try to do things. Like me, I believe in a higher power, and most people actually are religious more than me as religion goes. But like, I believe in something helped save me, but I had to move my legs and I had to find the opportunities and take the path of the opportunity. But me just sitting around was very, very dangerous. So I tell all the people like, yo, that's not, it's not good for them. And I do it my own way. And, and I believe I get through to people and some people I don't get through to, you know what I mean? Like you can't make anybody do anything in this world. You know what I mean? Everybody got free will.
So, how long have you been doing this for?
8 years.
8 years. Do you feel, being that you own recovery houses yourself, that being present in the program matters?
Absolutely. I know personally. There's a lot of programs out there where the people that own the houses don't even really go to them. You know what I mean? They don't go to them. They don't communicate with their people. And that's the truth. And I only know that though because of people telling me this. And it ain't like they're talking shit because some of them programs have people in there that like they have managers and stuff like that are around that do care. So I'm not saying that the program don't care. I'm saying maybe the owners don't. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying, flat out. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, I think that's one of the main causes of why programs are shutting down in South Philadelphia because, they lost dedication to try to help the next sick and suffering person, or they've been doing it a while and they're just tired of doing it. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion, though. My opinion don't mean I'm right, but that's my opinion.
Sure.
They lost drive. They lost drive, and whatever. But now that for anybody that's actually just running around and I am going to say grabbing money and not caring and just doing it just for that reason or whatever like that. I don't agree with it. Dude, it puts people's lives in jeopardy. And
There are programs that you know that do that.
yes,
Um,
yes, I know programs that do that. Yes, and they're more like boarding houses.
okay. Do you want to say,
What who they are?
yeah,
Um, no, I don't want to say who they are because of this reason. Is I'm not. I'm not. You asked me to do this, and you wanted to ask me questions, and I don't know what's coming like I did 2 years ago. That's why I did it. And I plan on doing it again, because it's good to keep you on your toes. But no, I don't want to because my purpose is not to talk shit on them people. Hopefully they see this and it can encourage them to actually care and start doing things the right way for the purpose that they started their program. You know what I mean? Not like to bash them, you know what I mean? To put them down or like, that ain't the purpose. You know what I mean? Like there has been times when I was on Facebook Live and stuff like that. And it is like I'm talking shit and I am kind of, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to ruffle feathers a little bit, hoping that the individual will be like, yeah, you know what, dude, I want to start like going to my program. I want to start buying drug testing people in my program, like stuff like. But dude, it's not happening, and they're putting people's lives in jeopardy.
how do you feel about harm reduction?
Well, that's a blanket question, kind of. I believe that harm reduction. I believe that maintenance, getting people into treatment. I believe in all that part. I don't believe in all of it though. I don't believe
Well,
in all of it. I have to say it like that. That don't mean I disagree with the person that's doing it. Everybody does what they do. But what it does mean is that sometimes I think things could turn into enabling people, and and that's what I believe. I believe that people could be enabled, and I believe that people could stay out there longer because I know, like for myself, like me, I'm talking about myself. When people were giving me stuff and doing stuff like that out on the street and all that stuff like that, when I was running and doing like drugs and drinking, I used them people. You know what I mean? And they kept me out there longer. And and that's why I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? I think when people hit rock bottom, they go and they get help. And if the help's there and they can't get nothing, I think that's more beneficial to them to get into treatment rather than like just doing all that other stuff that harm reduction does. You know what I mean? I believe strongly in the Narcan. I think anybody that is around anybody that's on drugs should have Narcan. I believe it should be given out like all over the place. People that do drugs should have it on them at all times, stuff like that. But I don't agree with people giving out. Me, I don't. You know what I mean? That don't mean I'm one person and a billion people in the world. I'm saying I don't agree with with somebody giving somebody a crack pipe and a chore buoy and a lighter and lube and a condom. Like I don't see the purpose in that. You know what I mean? I don't.
Well, so
A
recently,
condom's used once. What are you going to give them? 5,000 of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not going to get into detail about that, but like, what happens after they don't have them 5 condoms that you gave them, and nobody's around to hand them more? They're going to do what they're going to do anyway. I know me personally, like if a crack pipe broke and I was smoking crack, I'm going to use yours. I'm going to use anybody's. I'm not going to wait till I get a good crack pipe from somebody. You know what I mean? Like so, and the way I would smoke until that shit exploded, and then it would be broken. My lips be cut and whatever. So, yeah, I don't agree with that part. You know what I mean? But like, I don't agree with wound care like on the street. I don't agree with that part. I believe in they should get their wounds fixed, but I think from a hospital, a doctor, and a medical professional, not to where it's just fixed temporarily. So I know when I was out there, if my leg or my arm was infected, I would get it fixed at that point, and then I would just keep running. And it wasn't until I guess seen them people again, but I ran all over the place. So if I'm sick or I'm getting messed up, I'm not going back to get my wound checked. And it's just all temporary. And I think that there's a lot of funding that goes to that stuff that really could just go to hospitals. And if the funding really should go to people that are going out and actually getting these people in the hospitals and and stuff like that, like in a medical facility.
well,
Atmosphere with detox also included in all that. You know what I mean? And there's only a couple rehabs that do that too as well. So it's tough. Like a lot of rehabs don't like taking people with like infected legs like that. You know what I mean? They don't. So right now, though, from what I understand, they have a place out there right now, like Rock Ministries, doing a wonderful job down there. I seen clips, I seen things. I went down there, I watched what they were doing. Man, kudos goes to them people, man. That's a really good program that's down there. And right away, immediately, they get people into treatment, especially if they're about to get locked up. They can pick to go to jail or they can pick to go to rehab. In 10 minutes, they got a car there to take them to rehab. If not, they're getting a facility that holds like, I think, 400 people that actually could treat wound and drug addiction at the same time and get them into treatment. You know what I mean? That's the answer. You know what I mean? Not letting people just roam around doing whatever they want. That's not the answer. You know what I mean? Giving people stuff, getting now I'm going into my thoughts too, is also like getting money and grants and stuff like that go to keeping people out there longer. You know what I mean? You're talking grants, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars that is given to these people. And I'm not the only person that was talking about this. I mean, they were talking about this on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan got 7 million followers. So even Candace Owens was talking about it too, like how even in California, how they're handing them $1 million grants and they're going around and they're just giving like stuff to keep people out there longer, making them feel comfortable on the street. With recovery, the job is not to keep people on the street longer. It's actually to make them feel like human beings again. So
so
I don't know.
with that being
I
said,
might have went a little deep into that, but that's just my thoughts. You know what I mean? And I'm just answering off the fly too. It ain't so.
all right.
I don't know.
So recently, a politician fought to shut down one of the bigger storefronts down in Kensington that did that type of stuff, handing out the needles and the crack pipes and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on shutting that storefront down?
All right. Well, what storefront you talking about? Since you want to, because I know, like now this guy behind the thing, like, all right. So anyway, I know you're trying to put me under the gun. So what storefront are you talking about? And then I'll answer the question.
Savages in Recovery, Savage Sisters.
Okay, and their store, it was all over the news. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm bringing this up. You're bringing it up. What do I think about them shutting it down? I mean, dude, things happen because things change. You know what I mean? For a long time in Kensington, that's where I grew up at for a long time, and things evolve and things change, and people see the way things ain't working. Not saying that wasn't working, but obviously they felt it wasn't a need for it no more down there. And now if you go on a political standpoint, I mean, I don't think the answer was too arguing with a councilwoman. And a new mayor that actually is coming in trying to help and actually do the right thing down there, and help people. I mean, these people are trying to make a change. Like the new mayor, Cheryl Parker, and then that councilwoman, and like Mark Squilla, like all these people like that, they are trying to make a change and do what is working. So trial and error. I mean, but you just can't do whatever you want to do either. And I don't know all the details. I don't know all the details, and I don't know why they got shut down exactly. But obviously, somebody down there wasn't agreeing with the way they were doing things. I mean, because they shut them down. Does that make it right or wrong? I really don't know. I mean, but I see the way it's working, the way Rock Ministries is doing it. So obviously, something's working that way rather than the way I seen it 2 months ago when there was people everywhere, sleeping on the sidewalks and shooting fentanyl in their neck and trank. They were they were next to cop cars and all doing it. And I had a podcast on my YouTube channel that was saying this, that was saying like they need to pick the people up. You can't just do illegal stuff in America, dude. You're not allowed to carry drugs, and you're not allowed to do drugs in public in America. It's against the law. So now what's the other answer to that? So jails ain't overcrowded, is get people into treatment. Like, look, you can go to jail because what you did was wrong, but instead of putting you in a box because you are suffering from a disease, because alcohol and drugs is a disease, and we do dumb stuff when we're on it because we're just trying to get the next one, but there has to be help available, and that's what Rock Ministries is doing. And they're doing it very well, dude. I seen it. I seen clips. I seen all kinds of stuff. I mean, these people are phenomenal. They're going around with the police officers. They're doing a good job. They're cleaning. They're also cleaning. They also train kids in boxing from the neighborhood. I mean, my thought process is on this. Like, all right, so you're doing this, you're doing that because it's acceptable, and there's all these drug addicts everywhere, and they're all homeless, and you're letting them do whatever they're doing. There's families that live there, and children that have to go to school, and people that don't want that in their neighborhood. You know what I mean? Whoever gets to say like, oh, that neighborhood's okay to do it in? Why? Why? That ain't cool. And it don't matter if somebody from not there moves there and thinks that like they're from there because they got high down there. It don't matter. But there's actually people that have no choice but to live there at all, and they have to send their kids to school. And sometimes you don't know who's down there either. People with warrants and people, sex offenders and all kinds of shit. You got little kids running around. They're on drugs. They're on methamphetamines. They've been up for 5, 6, 7, 8 days. They're hallucinating. It's a dangerous situation for people, like families. I'm talking about the families, the human beings, like the people that are actually using. They're human beings. So help should be available. There's a lot of veterans down there too, dude. And them vets, there should be no vet left on the street at all. 100%. There should be no vet left on the street. A veteran, if you're a veteran and you're on drugs and you want help, you should immediately, because you serve this country, you should be able to get into somewhere, hands down, and it should be a great facility. Now you take away all this grant money that they're giving to like crack pipes and all this crazy stuff like that, and you give it to veteran programs and stuff and rehab, you know what I mean? To build stuff like a wound care hospital that's a detox center and helping people that are actually cleaning up the filth and all that, you got something going. You know what I mean? But just, oh, here, let's make them comfortable. You could say anybody's your family, you know what I mean? But, my friends and this and that, I seen, like, I seen a thing, and I'm not on this to say any names, but like cold weirdos and 12-step programs and this and that. Like, dude, no, hey, look, man, everybody ain't got to agree with everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't got to agree with what people are doing. You know what I mean? And you can't get mad when people don't agree with it no more because they figured out that your way don't work. Your way don't work, so you're mad. All right, why don't you join the way that does work? Since you're worried about statistics and all this stuff like that. If you're worried about statistics and what helps people, and they're saying, yo, we did this, it didn't work. We're doing this, and it seems to be working. Why wouldn't somebody jump on board with that instead of getting all mad on the TikTok and sounding all idiotic and calling people weirdos because they just don't believe in what they do? You know what I mean?
So, back to your program.
Mm-hmm.
Is your program state funded?
No, absolutely not. Not federal funded, not state funded. I don't get no money from the government at all.
No funding whatsoever.
No, I actually also, and I have, right now I have about, I think I hold a slot for about 20 people that I scholarship. And then sometimes I do get like scholarship foundations will send money, but right now they're out of money because there's no money going towards that. You know what I mean? Whatever right now. So they're trying to, there's a lot of great nonprofits out there that help scholarship people to get in the recovery houses. And when they run out, like the rehabs will actually apply for an application for them to get a scholarship. When they don't come, I honor them anyway. So like if somebody says like David Studay, great nonprofit, the Leckerman Foundation, Lee Leckerman Foundation, great nonprofit. All of them. I mean, Never Surrender Hope. They're all great nonprofits. The thing is, though, is it's hard for them to get money. So at the end of the day, though, if they're saying it, I know what one scholarship for how long Casey's Cause, 1 week, David's New Day, Bridge to Recovery, like they're all, some of them are 2 weeks, some of them are 1 week. But if they apply for it and they come, if we don't get a response by email in 2 days, we know they're not getting it. I honor it anyway.
Okay.
And I have 20 beds allotted for that. Like I have 20 beds that I can do that with. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Tell me in your head the difference between a private program and a state-funded program.
A private program and a state-funded program.
Yeah, like you're a private program, right? You're not funded.
No, you mean nonprofit and for-profit? Yeah, no, I'm not a nonprofit. No.
Okay, so in your thoughts, what's the difference?
The difference. What do you mean? One is for-profit, to meaning this, like they like you pay everything and whatever's left over, you're able to you make, and then you pay taxes on it. And then a nonprofit, they just get a salary and they have like a board of members on the board that stops them from destroying their nonprofit. Like for instance, they have a treasurer that watches it. Their books are always open every year. You're able to see what they spent money on. But they have like a treasurer, they have a secretary, I believe. Like they have I forget the positions on there. There's like 3 that you have to have, and then they add more to it. But basically all the people on the board are like people that are non-related, and they make sure that you can't ever crumble. And now when you leave that nonprofit still keeps going. They vote on somebody taking the place of the person that started it.
So I have one more question for you. There's been a lot of talk going around of people saying that 12-step recovery has the lowest success rate out of any other program as opposed to maintenance recovery or anything like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So times changed, right? Like a 12-step, like, I mean, you got NA, you got AA, you got CA, you got GA, you got a lot of different, 12-step fellowships. Nowadays, because of what you call it, like people going to rehab and the drugs that are being used nowadays and stuff like that. The drugs that are being used is stronger. So what I believe is this. I believe that if you go to a 12-step fellowship and you are on maintenance, because I do believe in maintenance, but I believe that there should be a time frame. I believe that there should be goal set, working with a therapist, a doctor, all the proper people. But I think with both of them and somebody eventually one day getting off of it, like I think that recovery is endless for them. I think that they could actually succeed and do very well. I think that people are looking at statistics, and it's like going in Alcoholics Anonymous and being like, yo, people looking down on a drug addict that was addicted to drugs. It's like, yo, dude, times change. You know what I mean? There's very rare that a person in the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting didn't use cocaine or do something. You know what I mean? They did drugs as well. So, but the people that are on maintenance, I think it coexists, and that's what people need to realize. They got to stop looking at the differences in statistics and stuff like that, and just worry about helping people and actually trying to build them up and make them strong. I think all that's bullshit. I think that people are just trying to use that as their agenda to be able to get grants and all this kind of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. I believe that they're just out there just trying to, statistic this, that. Hey, look, man, it's all about changing to be a better person and not ever drink or use drugs again. So that's what I believe, and that's the main goal. That's the main focus, is actually to have a person that can actually be out of rehab and get their life together and stand on their 2 feet and actually be a productive member of society and not go back to what they were doing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like all these people are like, usually it's like doctors and stuff like that, and all these people coming up with these statistics or whatever, people talking out their ass even probably further. But at the end of the day, some of them people probably never even did a drug. You know what I mean? I had a buddy of mine tell me he was on the board at Jefferson and he had to do this thing, and and they were like, oh, well, why don't we put a safe injection site? And he was like, oh, really? Yeah, down there where their grandmother has their kids and all this down in Kensington. And he said, why don't you put it next to your house? Now, wherever this woman that is a doctor that has degrees, probably a very respected woman, it's not nothing wrong with her. why don't you put it next to your house? And she made her face like, yeah, well, why is it okay to put it in the why? Because they're low income people? It ain't okay. Nobody's above anybody. We got to all stick together and love one another. So that's really what got to happen. You know what I mean? And that's, I mean, I could keep going for hours with a lot of this stuff, but, yeah, like we can't look less down on different areas and different people and different races, creeds, colors, you know, gender. It don't matter. We're all human at the end of the day. And if you were messed up on drugs and alcohol, that's what my job is to try to help people like that. It don't matter what the situation is. That's people want to put names on stuff and you have to and you can't do and it's okay for this person. Like bottom line is that you got to be a respectful human and try to treat people with respect.
All right. Do you have anything else you wanted to say?
Nah, not really. I mean, I don't think so. If anybody wants to, you know what I mean, make sure you tell people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Evolutionary Recovery. But besides that, go on YouTube and subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell notification. That's all.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.